welcome back. Well, welcome, full stop, not welcome back.
Welcome period.
Welcome period, yeah. We hope you're all doing well. We've got something a little bit different today. It's something that we've been wanting to start for quite some time now. It's basically a podcast, but for the time being, it's going to be like a video cast kind of thing.
For the foreseeable future.
Yeah, but at some point it will be going onto like podcast apps and stuff like that. But for the time being, it's video because it's gonna be. So basically, it's going to be called Girl to Girl Talk, as you can see by the title. But basically, it's going to be a podcast just talking about different subjects, whether it's to do with like feminism and like girl power and all that kind of jazz, or a couple of weeks we might have some guests in to talk about their jobs or sort of like inspirational women and stuff like that, because I feel like there's definitely a gap in the market for just a nice chatty podcast that just sort of support, like, I mean, there's loads of podcasts that are like by women, like Women's Hour and like Joe Elvin does one and stuff like that. Like, they're really, really interesting, but I just thought it'd be nice for it to not be like anyone special, just like your average girls, just like having a chat, because basically me and Erin spend like every Friday together and all we do is like talk about things that have like happened through the week and stuff like that. So I just thought it'd be like a nice weekly round up to sort of pick 3 subjects, sort of one kind of like news related, one topical, and then one that's just kind of a good old chat. So yeah, I really hope that you like this idea, and if there is anything that you would like us to talk about, like let us know, because it's always nice to see what other people would like opinions on. And if you have any opinions, whether they're similar or dissimilar, that's absolutely fine.
It'd be nice to
let's have a discussion in the comments, because that's what this kind of stuff is all about. And I feel like everyone's doing podcasts at the minute.
Podcast.
I bloody love podcasts, and I done TV and radio when I was in uni, so I feel like this is feeding in.
Keeps your creative stuff.
Because the job that I work in, it's creative, but it's not really.
It's like a different style. It's like a different realm of creation.
So I wanted to keep that running, and I just think when people are like, everyone's doing podcasts now, it's like, I'm what? The group?
Because the boss.
It's good that people actually listen to things, because when I was in uni, the amount of essays that I wrote about how radio is like diminishing because everyone's like watching YouTube and stuff, which completely thingies the point, because we're putting this on YouTube, but it's not going to stay like this.
It's going to be a podcast.
So this week, as you know, it was International Women's Day. Which is like, I just like seeing how people see International Women's Day, and I also like to see how men react to it and things like that, because it's you either get men who sort of go with like it, because it's not, I think when I was in university, I remember I had an argument with this lad, because we were actually doing a radio show like live on air. And it was International Women's Day, and I was like talking about it, and like the way it's obviously, although women have gained rights, there's so many women in third world countries and they can't even go to school because it's not within their rights as a woman.
Well, I think it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like late last year that in like the Middle East, like women had only just been like allowed to drive. Like,
it's ridiculous.
What the fuck?
It's like, we're so lucky, because in the UK, like, women have come far, but like there's so much further that they need to go. Like, there's still like wage gaps within industries because of like sort of gender roles. And anyway, I remember this guy was like live on the radio, he's like, why isn't there an International Men's Day? And I was well, that's like saying, why isn't there a straight pride? Why isn't there like White History Month? And it's like, because straight people, white people have never been suppressed.
Exactly.
It's like, it's sort of celebrates the fact that how far they've came, and just appreciating how far they've came doesn't mean that we're never going to go any further. Like it's not even the point. I think they see it as like, why do women want more than men? And it's like, it's not, we just want this to be equal. It's like, why shouldn't we?
There was like a really interesting tweet, not to like International Women's Day, but it was like what you said before. There was like someone who had documented it. Was like posters that like had like 2 men kissing or 2 like women kissing on it, and like people had like ripped the poster like in the street, like out of like bus stations, like they'd ripped one person out, and then like the person who had shared on Twitter was like, this is why there's no like Pride festival for straight people, and it's because like they've never been through, they don't have that, like,
they get discriminated.
They're not discriminated against, because that's just like what is like the norm. And I was like, that's so true. And I feel like sometimes I hate when men like, why don't we have this? It's like,
you've never been suppressed.
What?
Like every day is the International Man's Day, because like, I mean, not, I suppose that makes me sound sexist, but it's like, I think men and men, and it is that thing of men need to shake this thing of like, I need to act like a man, fight like a boy. It's like, no, just fight like a human. Like, and it's like stuff like that really annoys me. Like my niece, I can't even remember what it was, but she was basically like, no, that's for boys, and my sister was telling me about it, and I was just like, no,
it's for humans.
It's for anyone.
And
it's like, I remember one of my cousins, he wanted like these like Sophia dolls for Christmas a couple of years ago, but like Sophia's like a princess, and she talks to animals. So like he liked her because she could speak to animals, sort of like a Dr. Dolittle but a princess. And he was so embarrassed, because when you'd be like, oh, what do you want for Christmas, Harry? And he'd be like, you just wouldn't tell you. And I said to me auntie, like, oh, is he okay? And she was like, he's worried what people will think because he wants Princess Sophia like figures. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. I was like, I love that. Like, I think that's such a good like thing to ask for as a kid, because I remember when I was a kid and I really wanted these like Scooby-Doo action figures.
I love
and like
Scooby-Doo.
Not that my mum wouldn't buy them for me, but my mum just didn't think I'd be interested in them because they were action figures. And I, like, still to this day, I'm a bit pissed off that I didn't get them. And I used to think that, like, the boys' toys in, like, the Argos catalogue were, like, the best things ever. Like, they had, like, Scale Electric.
Scale Electric.
It was all, like, mad stuff. And I was like, oh my god, like, why can't I have that? And I think it's because I grew up, like, pretty much the majority of my cousins are all boys that are around the same age as me, so like I sort of grew up with them, and like I did have stages in my life where I was like a tomboy,
same.
And like I'd wear like tracksuits and trainers, and like I'd literally have like my Game Boy in my pocket all the time. Like I just wasn't really interested by stuff, but then I did have a side of me that used to love like Bratz dolls and like glittery shoes, like and I think that's what everyone should be like. I think Vinny's my boyfriend, by the way. He sort of like, I like it when like men have like a feminine kind of side to them. Like I like it. I like it where like, even if it's just like little things, like where Vinny notices that I'm wearing like a different colour eyeshadow, or he'll be like, oh, is this new? It looks really nice.
I like that.
And it's like little things like that. It's not even a massive thing, but it's like, like you appreciate it, and not in a way of like, you just appreciate me like a thing of meat. It's just like little things
that I would say to you is the same that like he would say to you.
And then sometimes he's like, oh, this is nice, and it's nice because like we've moved in together now, that he's like, although some things in the flat are pink and stuff, like he's just like, it's cool. He's like, I don't want it too pink, but like I'm cool with pink, because there's like a fluffy stool over in the corner there, you can't see it, and like Vinny's dad was like, you're not putting mine in the flat, and I was like, watch me.
We are.
Watch me name.
We are.
But I think it's like, obviously I do think it's sort of like a generation thing, like what my what my mum would think is normal would different to be what like my nan and granddad think is normal.
I agree.
But then
I feel like my parents were very much like, not on the cusp, they were like a little bit before the cusp of it being like acceptable. And as like me and Michael have grew older, like it's like to them, like their views have like completely changed. Like everyone always thinks that my brother's gay because he's so like, it's not that he's so feminine, it's just that like what you were saying before, like that's just Michael. And like so many times people have been like, is your brother gay? And I'm like, just because he like will talk to me about like fucking makeup doesn't mean that he's gay. Like,
see, that's what my little brother's like. He's definitely like, he likes boys stuff. Like I hate saying that, but like
things marketed for boys.
But then he is quite sensitive and he does like a little chat, and he likes doing face masks with me and stuff like that, and I love that. Like honestly, I think it's so refreshing. But it's like in my family, like we have people who are like gay and stuff like that, and like my grandparents are like so accepting of it. So like that's kind of nice, because we were all like, oh, like I wonder what they'll say. But then I think if you love someone, then it should be fine, and that's why it baffles me when people are so like against people who are like transgender and like bisexual and whatever else, because I'm just like, what if someone really close to you like decided that they were like, we're gonna get a sex change or something, and it's just like, would you genuinely disown them no matter how much you love them?
I think it's crazy when people do that.
It's just not a defining factor in my eyes.
I just think like, is that really like a defining factor like in your relationship? Like could you actually just like give someone up because they do something that you don't agree with?
But then I always think,
it's crazy.
If you know them well, you'd always have a thing where you thought, they're not happy like within themselves, and it's like someone being happy is just so much more important
than
anything else.
One thing I do think is good about like social media is how much I feel like it's helped us move forward as like a society. Like even though my parents still can't use like a computer, like my mum literally asked me how to scroll down on my mouse, and then I was like, the mouse is here, and she was like, is that the mouse? I was like, yeah. Like I feel like social media has really helped people to like understand, and especially with like,
because obviously not anyone in the world could go on it.
Not anyone,
but more people from different parts of the world that you wouldn't usually know about. You can sort of connect with them, because it's like all the because there was like, when I was in doing like my A-levels, I'd done like journalism, and there was this case that I searched into, and I actually done like a further essay on it in my like final year of uni, and it was about like the Arab Springs, and there's like this massive thing of like because basically the newspapers and like the news channels, couldn't get that out there, there was like massive protests, and like the government was corrupt, and like the police would like steal from like the market sellers and just all stuff like that. There's more to it, like you can read up about it online, and there's like TED Talks of it and everything, and basically people would film it and put it onto Facebook, and like as like protests went on and stuff, it started to catch the eye of like Western social media. So like America were picking up on it, the UK were picking up on it and broadcasting it, and obviously there's more to it than all this, but this is just like long story short. But like eventually the president got like knocked off, because all like the Western like news channels had like gotten onto it, and it was getting like broadcast and things like that. So there's this massive thing that like, although social media can be a bad thing, it also
can be a good thing.
Like it helps people work together, and I think especially in these like sort of like Arab nations and things like that, where women are seen as second best, I suppose it's nice for them to think changes coming, and it's happening in other places. And I just think as women it's so important for us to like stick together rather than
fight each other,
think that we have to be separate. But I think as well, like moving on to another subject which we were going to talk about, which is like the power of female friendships.
Yeah.
I think it's so important. And like I remember when I was in school, like I went to an all-girls school, and you know what, it was like really bitchy, and it was quite difficult to sort of support one another because everyone was so like, oh, she's prettier than me, this guy that I like likes her, like it was all so stupid. And I remember like I wasn't really interested in this guy like at all. I was like, no, I'm like not interested. He was a bit like of like a Facebook famous kind of thing, and like he'd said, he was like a good friend with one of my other friends, and he'd said in a passing comment like, oh, like Abby's pretty or something. And I remember like that girl like stopped inviting me to go places, and we were like really good friends, and one of the other girls told me that's why. And I just thought, but if she likes that guy, I'm not gonna go for it. Like,
I know.
As you get older, you sort of realise like how important like your mum is, and just how important just having like strong female relationships
around her. Yeah, I think it's crazy as well, like the advice that your mum would give you when you were younger.
Mums just know.
Mums know the future. Like I would be like, that's not gonna solve my problems, and my mum's like, it is.
But then it's like this thing, if like women didn't support women, then what makes anyone think that we're gonna like progress and
exactly
move forwards? Because it's just like women don't have to, like being a woman, it doesn't have to be a battleground between
two women.
I mean, obviously it's more if like you don't get on with another woman, then that's not based on anything else.
Yeah, it's like the tearing other women's arm, like, you know that quote, and it's like, I don't know it, but it's basically like, you know, when like what you say about them says more about you than it does about them. Like I stand by that quote as my like follow motto.
And I always think like I said it in work once, and I don't know why, because sometimes I just have these weird things in work where I'm like, who wants a motivational quote?
Oh my god, I want a motivational quote.
And I was like, you don't have to unscrew somebody else's light bulb.
Yes.
And I think it's so true, because it's like there's nothing wrong with you being slightly behind someone else, and I do this because you're never behind. The only reason why you feel like you're behind is because you're pinning your own success
on
someone else, and like that's just absolutely no reason to like hate on
someone else
or anything else. And it's like, there is like times where you might not agree with another woman's like opinion or anything like that, but it's like, you know what, use that as a like opportunity to discuss it and like sort of get to
grow and learn from each other,
get to know their opinions and why they think that, rather than being like a negative Nelly
and being like, no, you're wrong, I'm right. I agree.
Like I think that's a very important like personality feature, to like see stuff from other people's perspectives rather than being like, no, that's wrong.
See, I feel like I used to be really bad like that. Like I would never think like, I'd never think in my head like, oh no, they're wrong, but I'd never want to like, not like let them discuss, like if someone would say their opinion and I didn't agree with it, I wouldn't be like, no, I don't agree with your opinion, but in my mind I'd be like, I don't really agree with that. But then now I feel like in my mind I'm like, don't really agree with that, but then I'll think about like their side of it, and I feel like I never used to really do that.
I think stuff like that to a certain degree, but then when someone's like, oh, I vote Conservative.
Oh yeah, there's definitely like a line.
There's a line.
Yeah, there is a line.
There's a line. But it was like on International Women's Day, Women's Day, I don't know why I keep saying Women's Day, so I'm a cave person. Kim Kardashian released the Women's Day.
I haven't seen them yet.
Emojis. I'll try and get some up to show you.
Try to see if you can find them for me.
But basically, I remember Zoe, who's like one of the girls that I work with, she's my boss, she was like, came in and she was talking about the emojis, because she was like, oh, like I think it's brilliant. And I was like, oh, I've not seen them yet.
How do you get these emojis?
I think you have to buy it.
Oh.
I'll try and get them up. But there was literally like a bit of an uproar about the emojis that she released. So there's one that says slay in your lane, nasty woman, boy bye, my body, my choice. I'll pop some up like on the screen so you can see. And then there's like grab America back. So basically she's making a point at Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, I'm sorry if anyone is watching this,
I don't think anyone will be watching this,
and is a Republican, but like let's not grab America by the pussy, because just not, no. But I really like them because I like the facts.
What's that one say?
The future is nasty. Because it's just like, you know what, like I just think it's so backwards that Donald Trump was even elected, because it's literally like we've gone back.
No, I think it's mad that
insane.
He was allowed to fucking run. Like, why did no one like be like,
well,
actually
he got accusations put on him for like sexual assault, and it's like in the UK, if someone is running for Prime Minister and they get a sexual assault claim lashed at them, it doesn't even matter if it's true or not, they have to step down. Why wasn't it like that with Donald Trump?
I'm pretty sure in like whatever level as well.
Like Kim Kardashian has got more stick for the Kimojis
than Donald Trump ever got.
Than Donald Trump ever got for like what he did. But basically there was a tweet that went on Twitter.
This really annoyed me, and I really had to like rein it in.
And this was on International Women's Day, and she tweeted, embarrassing that the Kardashians have the audacity to tweet using hashtag International Women's Day as a family famous for sex tapes, extreme body modifications and dating men for money. You are not what this day is celebrating. And it's like,
so many things about that tweet annoy me. Like not even one, they're not in any sort of like order. Sex tapes, I'm gonna go to sex tape. Extreme body modifications, so.
But they've not had, is getting your lips on an extreme body modification.
Like,
or
I don't even
like
know,
or a little facelift. They've got the money to do it. If I had the money to do it,
I'd be like,
I would. But it's actually a man who's replied to this.
I loved him. I was like, yes.
So why, if it's International Women's Day, can't women who live differently to you celebrate being a woman? Because that's what it is. It's celebrating being a woman, and it does not matter what you've done. And it's like, we shouldn't judge women for being like promiscuous or anything like that, because there's women hating women.
There's nothing wrong with being promiscuous as long as you don't hurt yourself, hurt anyone else. Like, there is nothing wrong with it. Like, I literally hate like the word like slut and slag. Like, do what you want.
As long as you feel comfortable.
As long as you're happy. Do what you want. Do what you want.
Because there's some people, like, they're cool with living like that, and some people they're like, oh no. And it's not even a point of like, if you're like a promiscuous woman, that doesn't mean that you don't respect yourself, but that means that you are comfortable in your body. And if you don't want to do that, then that means you're comfortable doing what you want to do. You feel happy doing what you want to do.
Do what you want to do.
I think people are so quick to jump on the Kardashians because they put the life like sort of in the limelight, but I just don't. It's like, at the end of the day, no matter what they do, it's not a reflection on yourself. And you shouldn't look at it and be like judgmental towards it, because it's like everyone lives different lives. It's like
everyone does.
Like, nothing's ever going to move forward if everyone thinks women can't do that. Women can't do this. And it's like, but if a man done it,
what gets it?
Like, what do you think about women who work in the porn industry? Like, do they look at them and think, oh, this and that? But it's like, sometimes,
what about the men that work in the porn industry?
What about the men that work in it? It just doesn't make sense to me, because it's like the Louis Theroux documentary about the brothel in Las Vegas, and it's like, some of the women are there and they're married, and they're like, well, I need to do this because I cannot afford to bring my family up. And there's young girls there, and they're just like, I just have a high sex drive.
It's like,
and it's like, you know what, you do you, whether you're doing it for the money or whether you're doing it because you feel like that suppresses like a sort of addiction that you have, then like do it. If like
do what you want.
I just don't see any issue with it.
Well, like I literally said this to my mum yesterday, and it like literally baffles the absolute fuck out of me. And like I know it's like, oh, that might sound like really naive, but in the overall I'm quite a naive person. Like
I think there's something like really innocent about being naive.
Men and women are treated differently because we're born with like a different genitalia that we weren't even we couldn't choose that.
Yeah.
It was chosen. Not that it was chosen for us, it happened. Science happened. I came out as a female.
Yeah.
Like as what the world would call me.
Yeah.
Because I have a certain like sexual organ, whereas like compared to a boy, like human, not like
everyone was made in the same day, and it's like if you're like sexist, even whether that's like towards men or towards women, if you're a man, you came from a woman. If you're a woman,
you came from a man.
You came from a man as well. It's like I just genuinely don't see why no one's thought, why didn't we just all like work together
to break down all of those stereotypes.
Yeah.
So in how many years time, 100 years time, or whatever, great grandchildren will live in a whole society, and that whole society of the world thinks, how crazy was that?
Because it's like if someone's a bad person, then it's like doesn't matter what their gender is. It's like, and some people in the world are bad people. If Donald Trump was a woman, I'd still feel exactly the same.
I'd feel the exact same way.
So it's like I just don't see what people get from like degrading other genders or picking on other women or anything like that. I just think the world is so much better if everyone, obviously this is never going to happen. This is like
say in 100 years time,
the world is never going to be on the same.
The world wasn't built in a day.
Rome wasn't built in a day. But
it's Rome.
The world wasn't built in a day.
So naive.
But it's like it's so much more interesting to listen to what other people have got to say.
So much
rather
more.
than be like, I think this. Like I just
it
think
educates you more.
Arrogance just like annoys me.
Yeah.
So much. But it's sometimes it just like it hurts my feelings how other people think of women. Like I can't, like basically there's this guy, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but basically I overheard him saying that he wouldn't have sex with a woman who was fat, and I was literally just sat there doing work. Like,
I didn't even know what I would have done.
Oh my god! And I sat there and I was fuming.
Yeah.
But he said it in a room of women where there was loads of women, different shapes and sizes, like curvy, slim, you name it. Like that type of woman was in the room, and I was just like I was in so much shock when they said it, that it was 2018 and he's like a lad in his 20s and he said that. Like that's what I mean. If a woman said that about a man, all my respect for them would go out the window.
I'd be like, well, that's really like,
because I was just like, doesn't matter. And I honestly wanted to turn around and be like, you are lucky if anyone wants to have sex with you.
I would literally be
doesn't matter what their like weight is, like you are lucky.
I would literally be like, everyone in this room prepare a PowerPoint to educate this person. I would have either sat and cried.
I couldn't believe that I heard it, to be honest. I was
like you say, like shocked. I actually think I would have sat and cried, text you really aggressively, like I'm really angry right now, or like being like, sit down, I'm gonna educate you with a PowerPoint.
Do you think stuff like, I mean this is sort of going on to another topic again, but do you think things like Tinder like affect the way women view men and men view women? Because you judge people by
because you're kind of looking at someone's picture and not really looking at them as a person.
Because like I mean, I've not seen like Tinder from a man's perspective, but like is it used just for like men to get like girls that they think are nice looking like in the bed, or is it like, in all honesty, like my sister and her boyfriend, they met on Tinder.
I know loads of people that I've met on Tinder.
Yeah, but then it's like, I think a certain niche do use it for stuff like that, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Tinder is like, not notoriously known. That's what Tinder's known for, really. It's like people just get Tinder to like hook up with people.
Yeah, but it's a bit sad. Like, but
I
then
feel
it's
like
when you go out, I think because obviously women expect men to like talk to them, and I'm just like, it shouldn't even be like that. Like,
it shouldn't even be a thought in your...
If you like someone, then you should just like go and talk to them. Like, why on like dates do men have to
pay?
We were actually talking about this the other day, because I remember once when me and my boyfriend went out for something to eat, and like the guy, we were like, oh, can we pay by card? And he was like, yeah, cool. And the guy came over and like give it to Vinny, and I was like, oh no, I'm paying. And he was like, ooh. And I was like, can I not pay for it? Like,
no, I think it's really interesting when we go out for food, right? Have you ever noticed that like whoever it is who like comes over to give us like the bill, they always say you're paying on 2 separate cards?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
What if you were lesbian?
Yeah, what if Abby was paying, or what if I was paying? Like,
yeah.
I only noticed that after we spoke about that. And it was when I had gone home, I was like thinking, like, I'm gonna put this to a social test.
What if we were like a couple?
Yeah. I'm just gonna, next time I'm gonna be like,
next time you go out,
we're gonna test
with
that
like your gal pal.
I guarantee.
See what they say.
Yeah, see if you go out with a girl, or if you're a boy, go out with your boy mate. Go out with a friend who's of the same sex, and if they say, do you want to split it, be like, no. Next time we're in a relationship and Abby's paying. But that literally, it was like that day we thought about it, I was like sat at home and I was lying in bed, and I was like, I'm sure every time we go out.
That's really interesting. Like, when I used to work in restaurants and stuff, I literally just used to put the bill on the table. Like, I wouldn't like give it to anyone. I'd try and put it like bang in the middle of the table, just so it wasn't as though I was implying that anyone
I do that
paying,
though, like,
or I'd be like, are you paying by card? I wouldn't be like, are you paying together? I'd just be like, are you paying by card?
I have offended people in work when I have assumed the wrong person is paying, but I don't feel like I've done it in like any sort of like sexist way.
We're going to town though, and I'll be like, I'll get this for you.
Yeah.
And like, I'll like buy him like a t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, people must think like, what? And like, Vinny always jokes, and like, I know it's a joke, I know he would never say this seriously, but he always says that like, I'm a sugar mama.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, I'm not.
You know.
I just like gifting. Like, I think it's nice, because obviously, I think no matter who I was in a relationship, I just think it's nice to treat them. It's like sometimes me and you are just like, I saw something and like I picked it up for you and stuff like that. It's just like a thing that I like to do.
I agree.
It's weird.
Because like when I'm in work and someone is like, and this is the thing, right, and I always feel awful, but when I do it, I always offend men. And I don't mean to offend them, but I work in a clothing store that only sells women's clothing. So if a woman comes to the till to buy a top, I will like do everything, like wrap it all up, do the service, and then I have to ask whether they're paying cash or card, so I know what to like click on the till. So I'll literally be like, are you paying cash or card today? And then sometimes like I've really offended the person when I've looked at the person who's buying it, I've looked at them for payment instead of like the person that they were with, and I always feel really bad because I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I just assume the person who comes to the till is like the person buying it. But I would never like say, if you and Vincent came in and I served you, obviously I'm not allowed to serve you because that's against my job, but you were a man tonight, you came up to me with the top, served you, I would feel awful if I looked at Vincent and was like, are you paying cash or card? Like that's like that would make me feel like I assume that
at least you're aware of that, and when you do it, you're like, oh, like no, I didn't.
Yeah, like I don't want to assume that either people are paying, but someone's got to pay.
Who's paying?
Yeah, so I'm just like, are you paying cash or card today? Because I don't want to
like your eyes. Who's paying?
Yeah, no. But it's the same as like what you were saying before, as if like if me and you went out and they're like, oh, do you want to split it? Like if two females came up, I just assume the person who's buying the clothing is paying. And if they're not, boss. If I offend them, I'm sorry. That I assume that you were paying, but actually your wife was paying, or your husband was paying, or whatever.
I feel like it's just so hard, but then it's like, you know what? Progress, at least
you acknowledge it.
And you're not like men should pay, because it's
I never expect that.
And I hate people who say like blame it on being old-fashioned, and it's just like it's not old-fashioned. It's a thing that should be like dead and buried
though, and I think like it's classed as like an old-fashioned thing because like women weren't allowed to have jobs, so men had jobs, so they had the money for like the household, and that's why men would pay for things, because the woman didn't have a job because she wasn't allowed to have a job because she was a woman, and apparently
like they have to be a housewife. But it's like I'm like a very determined person, like sort of career wise, and like I wanna like have my career before I like settle down, like have a family or whatever. Whereas my sister is currently having a baby, and her dream job when she was a kid was to be a housewife. Whereas mine was like, I want to be a mermaid, I want to be like, I want to be Kim Possible. Like I was literally like the sort of like determined one, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm like, you be a housewife if that's what you want to be, because like my sister's very maternal. Yeah. Whereas I'm maternal, but like not really.
Not right now.
Yeah, not right now.
Yeah. Not right now.
So yeah, and I just think like I can't even remember who I said it to, and they were just like, oh, that's cute. Like they sort of like downgraded the fact that my sister wants to be a housewife.
Can I just say,
and it's like she wants to be a housewife, not in the fact that she wants to be a fucking pushover. Yeah. But like she wants to devote her life to her children.
Raising children.
So it's like, you know what? I'd be like, go ahead, girl. Yeah. But it's like, what do you mean? Oh, it's cute.
It's like,
so like is me because I'm a woman and I'm trying to achieve my goals, is that like cute? Oh, it's cute.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's like it should be empowering. Yeah. Like any decision that any woman makes, I feel like if you're getting women and woman mixed up, should be empowering. Same with men. Yeah. If a man was like, no, I wanna be like a house husband, then I'd be like, you do it, yeah.
I think as well, like, I don't know, because I don't have children and I don't want children for a very long time. Yeah. Like 10, 15 years, I don't want to have children as of yet. But like, it must be so hard to like raise a child. That is a job in itself. Like,
exactly.
Never mind like having one child, like having two children or like 3 children. Like, no. How like my parents raised me and my brother.
I know.
I'm just like, guys.
My mum was a single mum as well.
No. Like, me and my mum always talk about like how hard it must be for single mums, because my mum literally always says like, oh my god, I do not know how women do it.
Like my mum used to
not even just women, but single mums.
My mum used to work a full-time job.
Yeah.
And she used to do courses in the evenings to be a nursery nurse. Yeah. And she used to raise me and my sister. Yeah. As well, and I'm just like,
did you have that?
What?
Did you have the dog back then?
Yeah.
And the dog. And the dog.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy, but then it's also like, you know what, like I think I put well, I don't think I know, I put like I made like a little graphic that I put on Instagram the other day that said, this girl can.
Yes.
And I was just like,
this girl can do whatever
she
wants to do. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I'ma do what I'ma do.
I'ma do me. Yeah, I feel like as well, like you do measure your own success on like other people's success. Like, do you know what, I really like, this is actually like something that has been like my whole life developing, but I used to be like a really like jealous person, and now I'm just not. Like, I'm just like, that's so boss for you, like that's unreal. Yeah. Like when I feel like
I used to be like that, whereas like now I'm just like, yes. It's like
yes, go you.
It's like the way I used to hate it when like people would like copy me or like wear the same thing as me. But then now I'm just like, I love that. Like,
yeah, not in an arrogant way, but it's like
there's still like this, like, I think I was talking about this with someone in work, and they're like, oh no, I'd hate that if like I showed up and someone had like the same outfit on as me, but I'd literally be like,
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. No, literally.
Yeah, I do think even I've sort of like progressed.
Yeah.
As like my opinions on like women and men and things like that, and I think it's all for the greater good.
Yeah, mine's all for the
and
greater
it's
good.
like, you know what? Obviously, no one's born with the perfect opinion and stuff, but it's like I'm happy that I was raised to be able to form these opinions by myself rather than having a certain thing drilled. And I think this generation is going to be like a generation like for the greater good of the world, and not even in the sense of like environments and stuff, but in the sense of like humanity. Because I think we're sort of getting over all like these like stereotypes and like like stigmas over genders and stuff, and it's just like,
I really do feel like I was actually talking about this.
There's a woman president in America is the day that life will be
Michelle
good.
Obama.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama. No, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I think like, I don't want to say our generation, and I also don't want to refer to either of us as our generation, because we're Generation X, I feel like people put us in for our age group. I don't actually want to say like Generation X, but I think like our age group of people around us are definitely a turning point. Like, I can't wait till it's like without like wishing my life away, like my like grandchildren and then their kids and their kids, because I feel like
I'm intrigued to see like how the progression happens, and whether it's going to be like something that takes decades and decades and decades. Like, I wonder if all these changes like across the world, not just in the UK,
not just
will
in the UK,
happen like before I die.
I want hope that it will, but I'm not hopeful, but I'm going to try and be hopeful. Like, I would love it if like the generation that I give birth to is completely like, I don't know, like not completely my views, but like, you know, all for.
You take the progression further.
Yeah, take the progression further, but then obviously there's that whole thing of like for me, I don't agree with it, but I know that's like how a lot of people view it. It's like how your parents were raised and how they were raised and they were raised and they were raised, and then that like trickles down. I feel like it's like slowly changing.
Yeah, it's coming out of the, like their views are coming out of the cycle.
Yeah, like it's like a little bit every generation.
Yeah.
Like a negative.
Little change is better than no change.
Yeah, little change is better than no change, definitely.
So yeah,
definitely.
We will wrap this one up here. I really hope that you all enjoyed it, and like we said, if you have any opinions or you agree or disagree, let us know down in the comments, because it's a discussion and it's interesting to see other people's opinions and views and whatnot.
And it would be nice as well for like whatever like other people want to see from the podcast, because I feel like we're basically making a podcast that we find is missing. Like, I was literally searching so long for a podcast I wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if people were like, oh, I'd like to hear about that.
Also, just because this is called Girl to Girl Talk
doesn't
mean boys can't listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I will make Michael listen. I won't even make him he'll want to listen to it.
It's just a catchy name, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So don't, because I feel like there's going to be one person like, no, like this, if you think that, then why is it called this? And I just thought of it and I like the sound of it, because some people have like really cool podcast names, and I wanted a cool podcast name.
And also I identify as a girl, so.
Yeah. And I'm a girl, two girls.
I'm a two girls.
Yeah. And I want something that looks good on a t-shirt, because
we're getting t-shirts.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening. And yeah, I think we're going to start it off on YouTube, but hopefully in the next few months it will switch over. It's just microphones are expensive.
Expensive to buy,
Because I've done radio, I'm really fussy on microphones.
Like,
I can't deal with that tinny sound. it really hurts my feelings. So yeah, subscribe if you want to, you know, you do you, and like you said, let us know if you have any topics that you'd like to discuss with us or anything like that, and we will see you guys very soon. Bye.
Shall I keep waving?